And go blue, everyone. Andrew Marsh is back. Also, captains announced, leadership, council, and the spring game date is official. It's all coming up next on Michigan Wolverines Live. And here we go with another episode of Michigan Wolverines Live. It's episode 237, presented by FanDuel. I'm John D'Adamo. I'm going to take you through the next hour and a half or so. You can always catch us on YouTube, X, but don't forget about our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeart. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and share this link out, please, with at least one friend, and that'll really help get the word out. As always, we're going to take super chats, highlight your comment or questions. If you have a comment or question, definitely send a super chat so you get to the top of the line. But we're also going to highlight member comments as we can as well to thank our members. And with that said, as always, joining me each and every Tuesday on Michigan Wolverines Live, presented by FanDuel, TJ Ronin in the house.
What up?
We're back on Tuesday, back on track. Got the spring game announced. It's all happening.
Yeah, man. We are in motion. Spring game's been announced. We'll talk about that. Excited. Yeah, man. I'll say we're getting into a bit of the slow period right now. You know, a little slow period, but there's still stuff to talk about. So we're looking forward to it and cannot wait, John. Cannot wait.
So let's check out the members who are here. We got Goats. We got Mar. We got Quinn, who's 71 and sunny right now. We got...
That's bullshit. You know it.
That's crazy. Jeremy, go blue. Defending
it's
the
like
natty.
7 degrees outside, man.
I know. It's we have what's called the snowcrete. You know, it's like snow but concrete mixed together. That's what we got right now.
Quinn goes, "Where's the rollie?" So I had some people. So I posted a picture of my. All right, full transparency, not mine. It's my boys, but some people are like, I don't know. There's like apparently these terms for like knockoffs or whatever. Listen, I'm not a watch. The watch game is not my game, but can assure you, it was verifiably legit rollie. So that's the story on that picture.
There it is. Well, there you go.
Let me just say this. Just some backstory. I know it doesn't fucking matter. We were out to dinner for the UFC fights. Me and my, I got some boys. We do some catching up time to time, and we were talking about. This is very off topic, but we were talking about gold and silver and the prices, and we get into finances and all that. And he's like, "This watch on my wrist. What do you think this is worth?" And I'm not getting into the numbers, but point being is it's multiplied greatly due to the climb of metals. So that was why that picture even came about. That's why it was in my hand. That's why I took it. So full transparency. But go on.
There it is. There it is. All right. Well, CJJ, all of you guys, appreciate everybody being here. New Life. These are all our members, and you too can become a member as low as $2.99. So check that out. As always, the link, it's easier than ever. I've pinned it. So it's literally the pinned chat right at the top. Just click that, become a member. All right. With that said, we want to start with our FanDuel betting odds. And today, yes, folks, we're back to the Super Bowl. We tried to predict the Michigan State game last time with Johnny Olden, and now we got the Super Bowl back. Seahawks are still favored by 4.5. That's Mike McDonald, Jay Harbaugh, and it just feels like the things are destined here. This feels like a one where you take Seahawks to cover that 4.5. At least I do.
I think so too. I'll be real. I'm not a dedicated sports bettor. I'm not. But there are moments where you see a line and you say, all right, I think it's good money. I think this is good money. I mean, I think Seattle, be very transparent here. I think Seattle is a clear favorite to win the Super Bowl. I do think they'll win by more than 4.5.
Yeah. I don't see the Patriots offense as being good enough to make this happen. And we all know what Mike McDonald can do on defense.
Exactly.
We've seen
the trades. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Buckeyes are still trying to figure it out, but yeah, I mean, with the trades they made, the acquisition, the team is just very complete. It's a complete team. Good running game, good passing game, very elite defense. I mean, it's just what it is, man.
There we go. Well, let us know in the comments. Do you take Seahawks to cover? Who do you have winning this Super Bowl? Seahawks or the New England Patriots? Let us know. Okay, so obviously some very big news with friend of the program. We all know him, love him. Andrew Marsh is back. That's right, folks. He's officially signed. Now we said early on that he was coming back based on everything we're hearing that he's coming back. But timing was beautiful, right? Because on his birthday, and then also it's during a period where coaches can't go out and recruit right now. All they can do is text message and call and maybe FaceTime. And that's about it, right? So rolling this out after the portal and then during this kind of period that we're in, pretty cool. I felt like they were I felt like, Andrew Marsh probably knew he was signing, but it's just like sometimes you hold stuff back for the right day, like his birthday.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I mean, it's been a question. Many people are like, well, why isn't the Andrew Marsh thing public? Why isn't when Jamie French committed, it was over. It was over because the biggest. So I guess we'll start from the beginning. The Andrew Marsh scenario leading up to the portal, his agent was, pursuing, contacting others. Determining value. Let's put it that way. And, Michigan and the Marsh, the Marshes wanted assurances. They wanted assurances that this offense was going to be added to. So this way it's not 1 verse 11. Now clearly we have a running game, so it's a little exaggerated, but you get my point. There wasn't much of a passing threat in terms of other receivers making difference. They wanted impact players. They wanted difference makers. I'll say this too. It's almost refreshing because Andrew Marsh and his family were not like, look, I don't want, of course he wants to be alpha and he wants to be a player you can count on, but he didn't want to be the only offensive threat. He wanted others in this offense because they want to win. They want to win a national championship. They want I don't want to say high powered offense, but they want an effective offense. They want a dangerous offense that can convert first downs and drive fields and win games if a defense doesn't have a great day. Like the Marshes wanted that assurance, and and credit to the freaking Marshes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They did extra work, overtime to recruit others to Michigan. That's the other thing too. So let's give some credit here. They, yes, explored options in terms of just, let me say this, the agent explored options. Okay. And they did their due diligence on their end to assure that Michigan added talent to Michigan. And they did an excellent job. And they did. And, people were worried, why isn't this public? Why isn't, I'll say this. I'm not a big fan of the public announcement of returning of players. I'm just not. It does not excite me. It does not excite me to see a player come back when you were already here. That said, I can appreciate it's his birthday. He wanted to show it. He waited. It was done. And if anyone doesn't know, it's a 2-year deal. It's a 2-year agreement. So it's not just this year. It's not this coming season. It'll be this season after that. So, listen, he is one of the best this is crazy to say, one of the best Big Ten wide receivers, young wide receivers in the Big Ten. I mean, period. So the kid's a playmaker. He's elite, great hands, all that. So we're excited, man.
Yeah. Whether it's hands, whether it's separation, it seemed like, granted, the bar was low in Ron Bellamy's wide receiver room. The bar was low, but man, did Marsh exceed it as a true freshman coming out of high school right away. And the second he got playing time, he elevated every position he was in, whether it was wide receiver or returner. When he had his opportunities at returner, then all of a sudden started to get some yards, and even more so in the Texas Bowl, right? So just looking at some of these stats, so for the season, 45 receptions, 651 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Do we think Andrew Marsh could be headed for a 1,000-yard season?
I do. I do think. Well, let me just say this. I think he's actually going to be our alpha next year, even though we have Jamie French, even though we added Buchanan, even though we have the young, promising wide receiver and Travis Johnson coming, and obviously Hogan Hansen. We're expecting him to be 100% healthy, and we have a good running game. Actually, I'll be real with you. I'm going to change my mind. I think he'll get around 800 or 900. I don't think he'll get 1,000. And the reason being is we're going to be very run focused, but there will be a passing element where these boys will eat. They will eat because it will be sustained drives. We are inheriting, we are adding the offensive coordinator who had the number 6 scoring offense and the number 5 total offense last season. So points are going to go. Like, we're going to score. We're going to sustain drives, but 1,000 might be tough. And the only reason, not that Marsh is not a 1,000-yard wide receiver.
Yeah,
he's a 1,000-yard talented wide. It's just Bryce is going to run.
Yeah,
Bryce is going to get the ball to Buchanan, and he's going to get it to French, and they're going, and then we have, what do we have in our running back room?
It's a phenomenal running backs.
Wow.
Jordan Marshall leading that charge, and the best freshman recruit running back in college football
in years.
Savion Hyder.
In years. So the point being is there's only so much rock that can go around. So it's not that Marsh is incapable of 1,000. And if he got it, and if somebody said who is the most likely to get to 1,000, it is Andrew Marsh. It's without question, Andrew Marsh is the most probable wide receiver to do that. I just think it's going to be spread around. I do think they're going to use these weapons, and I think I'll be real. I've thought about this. We're in the phase in the off season where there's not a lot of new information, so you're just like looking at things in different angles.
Sure.
I actually feel this offense will be very fun to watch. It's going to be enjoyable, refreshing to convert and sustain drives again. We have been a very hot and cold offense,
right?
And I think we're going to be warm and hot. I think it's going to be a warm and hot offense. I don't think this will be a cold offense at all.
No, when you look at Utah's film from this past year, what I noticed is much more spread.
Yeah.
11 personnel, significantly used more. So you're going to see a lot more 3 wide receiver sets than we've seen this past year. But what I noticed was Jason Beck just had the right play call at the right time consistently. The big negative I saw in the Utah film was the defense. But guess what? That's not the defensive coordinator that Whittingham went with here. He called up BYU and went and got Hill. So that was the big weakness I saw, was the defense was not very good, but the offense was clicking.
And yeah, I was going to go on Jay Hill, but we'll stay here. I mean, the point is like exactly, John. I feel we have an offense that can literally kill you. Different, like running game. Is anyone going to argue, rival or just the average college football fan, that Michigan is going to have a good running game next year? Would anyone argue that, John?
I don't think so.
No. Would anyone argue that Bryce Underwood has the capability to tuck and run? Would anyone argue that? Well, he will. So. He will. Jason Beck, Kyle Whittingham are encouragers of that activity. Sharon Moore, not so much, John. Not so much for Sharon. Okay.
If you don't have 2 quarterbacks, you better watch the running.
You don't run. You don't run if you don't have 2, John. Even though you paid all that money. But anyways, so we know. There he is. I like the one with his wife.
Yeah.
Where she's, we'll have to get that one uploaded. Anyways, respectfully. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a shit if the rivals know or not, because I know they don't. I've already been arguing with them. I know. We know. The wide receivers that have been added this year, they're going to get the ball. They're going to catch, and they're going to produce. Oh, and you know what else we didn't even mention? Celeste Moa.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's how versatile it is. We failed to mention a 5-star.
We hadn't mentioned today. We mentioned him previous episodes.
Right, in this topic.
Yeah, you're right.
Topic here, he was, Jamie French, you got Buchanan, Andrew Marsh, big dog Andrew Marsh, Travis Johnson, who must not be slept on.
No.
Celeste Moa. I mean, dude, yeah. This offense is going to be a fucking problem.
It's interesting because it's for once it feels like we have an abundance of weapons as opposed to Andrew Marsh being our only weapon basically last year. Going from that, and then the year before the only weapon was Colston Loveland. So each year we've had a grand total of 1 legitimate weapon, and we're going from that to a situation where you've got Marsh. You got Buchanan. You've got French with the extra F standing for fantastic. F. Yeah, I'm just having fun with it. But the extra F is fantastic.
No. The second F is silent.
Then you have Moa, which you talked about.
That's right.
Then you have Travis Johnson. You have how about Jalen Pyle?
Not this year. I mean, I like Jalen Pyle. It's just I don't think he's a this year contributor. I think he is a development. I think he is you put him in that good pH soil and you let him grow. You let him grow. And he'll be ready. I mean, I think Jalen Pyle is a year, I'll be honest, I think he's a year 3 contributor. And I think but he has that upside. Like I think he's slept on.
My
and also
point is there's an abundance of riches here as opposed to before. Michigander making the point, top 3 wide receiver room in the Big Ten, top 10 in the country.
Potentially.
And that's a big, and let's say it's not even.
I'd have to look.
It's at the very least significantly improved from last year. Top 10 in the country is big, but I will say I think it's significantly improved. I think it's fair to say that.
Yes, it is. It's actually, we're not even used to this. Because the offensive line is also in good standing. The only question mark one could argue offensively, now Okay, there's potentially two, but there's really the only one that the only one I have is tight end. Who's going to step up? Is Hogan Hansen going to be healthy? And is he going to be ready?
If he is, then he'll be the answer if he is.
That's right. And then there's Zach Marshall, who I know many of us believe in. I believe in Zach Marshall.
I believe in Zach.
On this show, I talk all the time. A player's got to show me flashes. Zach Marshall showed flashes. Zach Marshall showed want it attitude.
The Washington game.
Yeah. Another games as well. I just who you interviewed, John? You interviewed Zach Marshall, am I right? Isn't that
he was the first player I ever interviewed back 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So how cool. So exactly. So yeah, offensively, I'm excited, man. And we'll talk about the spring game, but what things we will be looking for.
Yeah. Receiving game and as one big one.
Okay. Our boy Mark Go Blue said Ludwig, and then he said messed up. Ludwig, unfortunately, I'm sure that's what you meant. Ludwig, unfortunately, made, I don't want to say made bad choices, but he made bad choices. Should have stayed, bro. You would have been a fucking alpha here, bro. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it.
Cody agrees that, so he's very excited about a healthy Hogan Hansen, and I'm with you there. I think if he's healthy, I'm into it.
Yeah, Mark's saying Ludwig messed up. We agree, brother. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be a part of Jason Beck's offense and this coaching staff and the clear opportunity in front of you, man. I actually think Ludwig could have had a Colson Loveland-like freshman year, man. I do.
I think you're right. And let's see if Hogan Hansen or Zach Marshall could step up and be that guy this time around. We also don't want to forget about Jalen Hoffman. Jalen Hoffman's going to be used primarily, as we know, as a more of a fullback. They don't have a straight up fullback in. Yeah,
was it H-back or something?
It's like H-back tight end kind of hybrid role where he'll use him situationally, depending on what makes sense.
To that point, John, Jason Beck is known to have the most grouping personnels in all of college football. So you will see the chess. That's what I mean. Like the coordinators Whittingham has added, and they paid a heavy price for these guys, buyouts and yearly salaries. Okay. These are chess players. Jason Beck is a effing up and coming chess player. Jay Hill, I know we're focused on offense, is a chess player. He understands your move before you make it, So excited, man. A lot to be optimistic about.
Chi-Town does say our offense is going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's pretty exciting to be able to say that. Yeah, when's the last time we were to this? I guess the excitement of Bryce coming in was big last year. But I always was kind of like, I think our offense would be better than when we had no quarterback. But, when was the last time we were like excited about our offense to this point? It's been a while.
Last year we were excited.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, well, 23. All right, 23, I think we were all very excited, especially when Blake Corum decided to come back. And then last year we were excited for Chip Lindsey, but there were question marks. Although this year it's a little more. Like I always talk about hope versus knowing. Mm-hmm. The knowing is stronger. Like I feel we know. I understand. Jamie French does need to prove it, but his film's pretty freaking legit, man. I cannot imagine he won't translate. And Buchanan has shown tangibly production at the college level as a freshman. He's only going to get better. And then Andrew Marsh, we know what he is. It's more known. We have a more known commodity going into this season, and it is exciting.
I want to thank Detective Wolverine because Detective Wolverine is a Connor Stallions espionage member. What? Whoa! How about that? Yep. I looked in chat and everything. So welcome to the Guardians of the Manifesto. This mate, I know you've been a member before, but I believe it deserved another shout out because that's really awesome.
Thank you.
And with that said, I'm pretty pumped about the offense. I think, and we didn't even mention Harding and the O line and like what the development's going to look like on the O line with somebody like him as the line coach. I think that you're going to look compared to Grant Newsome, you're going to see the right players in the right spots on game 1. I genuinely believe that, as opposed to game 8 of the previous couple of seasons because people got injured, right? And then they stumbled on a decent combination.
Bro, yeah, you nailed something so critical. Like, we have so many things, so many storylines, sub-storylines that we're going to be watching. Here's one, and I feel confident we're going to be very happy. The difference between I'm willing to bet my rep on this. The ability for this coaching staff, to your point, John, which we have mentioned, to identify what they have before week 1. Before week fucking, I'm trying not to swear as much, but fuck it, we're gonna let it go. Before week fucking 5, bro. Yeah, like this staff, I feel like a coaching staff should have an idea of what they have in spring ball. You should have an idea of what you have by fall camp. You should know what you have. It does not mean adjustments won't be made mid-season, of course, but Michigan didn't know what they had until October. And this was 2 years in a row. I feel very confident this staff will know. I feel very confident this staff will be better prepared.
Yeah, I'm with you, and we're definitely gonna be showing some of this film and these photos of the team. There's one of them.
Was this one of the photos you were going to show, John? My bad if I
no.
Okay.
I was just gonna, because I really like some of the ones that have been put on the official.
Well, I wanted to point out before we get to that, John, if we can I point out on that other photo? Let me pull that up if we can.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, one of the biggest things was Bryce Underwood. Now I know it's off season, so it's slightly different, but Bryce Underwood did not have a dedicated quarterback coach. Correct. Even though Chip Lindsey wanted one. Now, one could argue, well, maybe the staff budget didn't allow it. Who knows? But if so, that's an error. Anyways, maybe you shouldn't have had a dedicated special teams coach, Sharon Moore, who did fucking nothing. But anyways, let's digress.
JB Brown.
Way to use your fucking asset. All right, I'm a chill out. Now I'm swearing. All right, so, but to this point, this is Bryce Underwood, off-season work with one of the best quarterback development coaches. And not only is Jordan Palmer a good quarterback developer, Jordan Palmer is, I want to say, the most used quarterback coach for pre-draft preparation.
Yeah.
The top quarterbacks often have Jordan Palmer run their in-person team combines. Typically Jordan Palmer coordinates that for the top dudes every year. So the fact that he is hands-on working with Bryce Underwood, one, through action, right? We watch through action, not words, right? Even though they said they were going to, through action, we are seeing a dedication to the improvement of his game. And I'm going to tell you, and many of us know this, when you have the potential and then you start putting people who know how to help others reach that potential, it accelerates. So to me, this is very encouraging. This is very exciting. And this is going to lead into the next topic, John. And the point being is the boys are working, and that's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, look at Devin Dampier and the growth that we saw from him in 2025. He went from a 57% completion to a 63.5% completion. He exhibited growth in that year. He showed it. Jason Beck showed his dual threat capabilities, Devin Dampier's dual threat capabilities, and Coy Detmer Jr. as the dedicated quarterback coach, there was clearly work being done. And so what I've seen just in the last year from Jason Beck and Coy Detmer Jr. with Devin Dampier makes me very excited as to what they could do with Bryce Underwood. This work in the offseason just shows that Bryce is ready to put in the work, put in the time. Jordan Palmer, like you said, he's worked with some of the greats, Patrick Mahomes, just some of the major greats that in college and NFL.
Yeah, he's very highly requested guy. So the fact
McNamara,
that he's working with Bryce is exciting.
Maybe he worked with Cade McNamara, all the greats, right?
Yeah. So, the legends.
Yeah, but we'll forgive him for that podcast now that he's spending the time on Bryce Underwood.
Wait. Oh, what are we talking about, McNamara?
Yeah, remember Check Down Cade went on to Jordan Palmer's podcast and was like panning Michigan and all that good stuff.
Yeah. But that was about JJ, not Bryce, though, right?
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
But we'll forgive him for that for now.
Bro, listen. He beat. I'm gonna tell you this. Cade's all right in my book, dude. He beat Ohio State. He got us to the playoffs. He did the best he could with his talent. I'm not mad at the kid. He gave us a rebound season, and believe it or not, he may have been an assist to JJ's development because JJ didn't have to go through what fucking Bryce went through this year to the Wolves, bro. So JJ was allowed to develop accordingly.
So I'm hearing that it might be Detroit Wolverine, and I've been saying Detective Wolverine for like 2 years. So if that's the case, please let me know which it is.
313 at the end.
The 313 might be the giveaway there.
It might be.
But Detective Wolverine sounds cool too. So whichever one, let us know and we'll stick with that. Go Blue Boys! Can't wait for the season to start.
Juju, you better watch your mouth, bro.
Oh.
Talking shit about my Red Wings.
Oh,
number 2 in the East right now. You better check it, my guy.
Look out.
If New Orleans had a hockey team, you'd be a fan.
Sharonley. So Sharonley fans. I don't know if you saw that an
throw
emoji
a Sharonley fan in the chat, my people. Oh, you're saying? Oh, you're going, John. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, throw the new emoji in the chat. And check that out. I just threw it into new emoji for Sharonley fans. It's so perfect. I haven't been this excited to see a Michigan offense in a very long damn time. Hail.
23. Were we not? I mean, I don't know. Were we not excited for 23? I think we were all excited for 23.
Pretty pumped for 23.
Yeah, 23 was exciting. But I hear you. Yeah, man. I mean, I just wish we landed that impact linebacker and one more defensive lineman, man. But whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll get through it. Everything can't be perfect, man.
So John W. is asking what happened to EJ Holland. Steve Dace apparently went off. I didn't hear about this, but I did hear that EJ Holland has accepted another on-3 beat for Miami. And his family, I think his wife has like a residency coming up in Miami or something like that. Like there's other reasons he's doing this other than just because he wants a new chapter, a new start. So he's going to the on-3 Miami beat, basically, is what's happening.
Yeah, and
the end of an era.
Okay, so I think what my guy John here is referring to is the rumor. There's a rumor. I saw it. I heard it. I had some people text me about it, and I also heard and when I mean heard it, I read it earlier today. And then I saw Steve Day's post, which was essentially, and we can share it because it does look like Steve Days did a follow-up about 13 minutes ago. So breaking news, John. So let's pull it up here. So initially said if you thought Kyle Whittingham was going to put up with the drama queen calling his recruits to make himself the story, you're likely retarded. I still can't believe a program like Michigan let EJ Holland clown show go on for so long as it did. Well, so I want to actually hit on that because there's a reason why it went on. And then he fouled up. P.S. I have no sources telling me the new coach pushed him out. I just don't think his me shtick would have been tolerated here for very long by the new coach, in my opinion. So the timing of his departure is fortuitous for the all involved. So here's the problem, though. Because I've seen a lot of people say, like, why I can't believe a program like Michigan let him around. But here's the reality, guys. He wasn't team credentialed. He just covered recruiting. The kids in high school have no relation to Michigan. So he had free range to interview or go see. He was there on behalf of On3. It had absolutely nothing to do with Michigan. Like, that's one thing that's I think, it's done. It's over with. It doesn't matter anymore. But Michigan had what can they do? I mean, he travels out of state. There was no connection to Michigan. He had no, like I said, no credentials. So now one would say, well, then put pressure on Ballas and co. But for those who don't know, EJ didn't even work for Ballas. See, people don't know that. He was just a contributor to the Wolverine, but he worked for On3. It was a separate deal.
I think we need to remember, and Steve can have his fun, whatever. But I think we need to remember that not every reporter is a fan of the team that they're covering. And some people are new to this. They don't consume the content as much, and so they don't know that. But not everybody is a diehard Wolverine for life who's going to stay with some of these people are just beat reporters and they hop around, right? EJ Holland, I think he was on the Texas beat. I think
Notre Dame,
Michigan,
SMU initially. He was SMU originally.
Now Miami. So some of these people, they bounce around. I don't really see it as necessarily being tied to what some of what he did during his run. I don't think that was. I honestly don't think that was involved. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I don't think Steve does either. I think we're all kind of speculating.
Well, so I one of my friends who I met through the podcast, I told him the issue. Well, I told him, like, the thing about this rumor is there was speculation in November before Kyle Whittingham was ever even added that EJ Holland was on the move. This has been, anyone who wasn't On3 members aware of this. Anyone who's a 247 member, trust me, they know, because they follow. As much as they don't like EJ, they follow his actions. So end of the day, I actually think this was an organic parting of ways. That's my belief. I don't know of anything otherwise.
Yeah. Hey, we got Minnie here. Appreciate you.
What?
I class up the place, apparently.
Jesus.
Why? Because I'm wearing this is just the shirt I wore earlier, so I just kept it. But thank you for that. Hey, TJ's classy too.
Hey, you know what?
We do it together.
It's all right. All right. It's all right. She's not a hoodie. She's not a hoodie lady. That's fine. I'm a hoodie guy.
Yeah, I don't think I've been in too many hoodies on here, but I've done t-shirts.
I gotta up my hoodie game. I gotta get some more. I need to get some more Michigan gear. I realized this before we'll talk about the spring game. Before spring game, your boy's gonna be stocking up.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, Courtney Harper in the house. $10. What's y'all's thoughts on what position Tatum will play? Anything on will offense tempo be faster? Also, I'll be at spring game. Also, what do y'all prefer? A recruiting analyst that's a fan or an analyst? So we've got 4 questions in there, but it's a super chat. We're going to take them all.
$10 hitter.
Take them all.
So
Tatum.
Right, so safety nickel
safety.
Hybrid potentially.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that experiment. One thing about Whittingham and co is they love this is how you know you have a good coach, though. And if this works, I mean, it's going to be beautiful. But Whittingham actually has a track record of identifying individuals That's, originally a different position group and transition him elsewhere. We have one on the Lions, Sione Vaki, who was originally a safety. They converted to running back. I think it takes a unique eye to identify such things. We saw it with Sanders still, where it worked out. If Sanders still, it's so wild, but if Sanders still remained at wide receiver, he probably would not be in the NFL right now. But now he not only transitioned and turned into a damn good, DB. He's killing it in the league. So it's just identifying the best use of your chess pieces, and that's what we have here, and that's the versatility. And that's the other thing too. Is Whittingham tries to capitalize on the versatility of his players. I love that. Like, I hate in the box thinking. This is out of the box thinking type shit. This is growth mindset type shit. So it's good. It actually, if anything, it's a good indication we have a coach with a healthy mind. And then offense tempo. Well, I'll be honest. That's a great question.
Let me just touch on this. I do think he's going to primarily play safety. However, we don't know for a fact that he's not going to take a few snaps at running back. And in fact, I would predict that they're going to throw him in at running back in a game against a team like Ohio State, against a team that's one of the tougher teams on the schedule. They might sprinkle him in because no one's they're not prepping for Taylor Tatum to be the running back in the running concepts. So I'd say 98% safety, 2% running back. They'll sprinkle.
I actually wish they would have kept him at running back. I wanted to see what Alford and I know, and I know, especially Juju right now. Juju's like so down on Taylor Tatum. I just wanted to see what Alfred could do with him. I think his high school film is good. And I know he loves baseball, and that might be part of the issue, but I don't know. I would have liked to have seen it. Kuz is better. We'll see.
Kuz, yeah. Well, Kuz he thinks he's going to play. He's going to have reps.
All right. So here's what we know about Kuz, though. He's going to. He's now. We know it's going to be Jordan Marshall. We know it's going to be Savion Hyder. Kuzdal will get some run. To what extent, we'll see. I mean, obviously a third running back, maybe garbage time, whatever. Or maybe there will be an opportunity because potentially a player gets nicked up. So Kuzdal, and the thing is too, is Kuzdal was in full contact with the Michigan staff through the entire process. Once Justice Haynes got literally bought by Georgia Tech, and Taylor Tatum was then on board with transitioning to safety, Kuzdal's opportunity was right in front of him.
Yeah. That was his shot, but I do think there's a pretty significant gap. Jordan Marshall to
I would agree.
Kuzdal.
Yes. I think we can all agree that because we are talking Jordan Marshall, who's a top 10 running back in college football, and Savion Hyder, who literally is Heisman caliber potential.
Yeah.
Now, potential. Let's not, we got to let him. He's going to do well, though. I don't care. This isn't.
He's now. Gonna play.
Yeah, he is. He is going to play, and he's going to be good.
So onto the tempo, the tempo question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I actually don't know Utah's ranking in that. It's a good question. Something we need to look into more.
Yeah. I based on what I've seen, there is a little bit more. I also noticed more pre-snap motion. I noticed it's just more creative overall. And at times, Chip Lindsey's offense was creative. And then at times we had the OU game, the Ohio State game, the turtle. The good news is no more turtle. Turtle's gone, folks. Turtle has swam away. Turtle is over in the Galapagos Islands and or wherever he is, and no more turtle. Instead, you're looking at a top 6 offense, a top 6 offensive coordinator anyway. So I think there will be some more tempo.
So last year, so the offense, Interesting. So it ranked 12th in college football at 74 plays per game, indicating a high volume of offensive activity. Okay. I mean, I don't. Apparently, it was 12th in college football. I'd have to look into that. I don't really. Maybe I can get it here. I don't know. We'll dive a little deeper on it though. I do need to look into those.
When Chip Lindsey was in full, or at least in greater control, it did seem like the tempo went up a bit. But when Sharon Moore was running things, when they were just pounding the rock over and over, that probably impacted the analysis.
Let me share this, John. So this just came out January 20th. Look where Utah ranked 8th in S&P Plus on so offense was 6th in the nation, defense was 7th. Now obviously that doesn't matter for us, but that's pretty damn impressive here. I still don't know fully what our tempo is. There's probably someone in the comment while I'm looking who does know, but let me just look at BYU's defense real quick. Let's see. So their defense was 22nd. Interesting.
Yeah. Michigan 25th.
Yeah. Did you look up? Let me see. Where's Michigan?
I was just reading it. Michigan 25th.
Yep. And the defense was 15th. Offense was 49th. Interesting. So imagine having a top 10 offense in S&P Plus. Now, defense is going to be interesting because I'm curious. Again, we all know our front six concerns. That will be the limitation if there is one.
There it is. And Michigander, I don't think you're wrong when Sharon was actively head coach. Obviously, when he was off,
we know that
suspended.
We know. Yeah,
that's a little different. But when he was there, he could, and we know that. Like, see, this is the thing. There were people like on the beat, and there were people who were defending, saying, "No, it's all Chip Lindsey." And like, what's your evidence that Sharon Moore is getting in there? Like, I had these tweets from people who were legitimate people. And I won't name names, but like legitimate people, media people who were challenging me, and I'm like, just do you have two eyes? Like, and can you compare and contrast what we saw in the Washington game or the CMU game versus the Oklahoma game, John, or versus the Ohio State game?
That's what separates our show, though, because we don't play that shit. I don't give a fuck. I am not a believer of words. I'm a believer of action. I'm a believer in results. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I don't even trust people's words. I really don't. I don't I don't walk into a situation, whether it be personal or whatever. I don't walk into a situation not trusting, but I'm definitely not invested in words. I'm invested in actions and all. And that goes for my sports teams too. Like, coaches talk all the fucking time. Like, you have, and then the other thing too that is very dangerous is when you have sources that you're going to, and they're lying to you, but because they're your source and you trust that, your reporting then suffers. And we saw that, no names on any of that, but
no.
But like, the point being is, like, everything we as a show and as a community saw all year, where was it wrong? No. Listen, it was no coincidence when Sharon was gone weeks 3 and 4, the difference in that effing offense.
Night and day.
And then when you and then they're like, well, it's all it's speculative. It's speculative. Except you have players saying there's things we ran all week that we didn't run on Saturday.
Yeah. Like, literally.
And then we personally have had players' parents tell us it's not what Chip wants to fully install. So whatever. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just not how we operate. And that's, again, one of the things that we'll continue to do. Like, if we can see there's an issue, I'm not buying the bullshit. We're just not going to do that,
Yeah, and that was part of Courtney's super chat as well. Like, do you prefer a recruiting analyst that's a fan or an analyst?
Yes. Well, I have an answer for this. And this might rub people the wrong way, and I hope it doesn't. Just hear me out, okay? Both. You want diversity of opinion. That's why, like, I'm going to be real with you. My entire approach when it comes to, like, Sam Webb or the EJ Holland or the 247, the On3 wars, is I appreciate both because they offer different perspective. But it's up to you to vet that. It's up to you to identify what you find value. Like I'll be real with you. I got into a fight, or not a fight, an argument with somebody, because I like to inquire with, like, all right, an individual, I won't get into too much details. An individual I know did not appreciate that I reached out to somebody to inquire about some information. And this has nothing to do with Michigan, by the way. This is personal shit. And it's all right. It's business related. And the point being is I like to inquire, and if it's value, it's value. If it's not, it's not. Whether you respect that person or not, that's a you problem, bro. Like, I don't care if you don't respect someone's opinion. I'm going to hear it out. I'm going to vet it myself, and then I will determine if it's value. You're not going to fucking tell me. And that happened over the weekend. That's how I operate.
So for the last 3 years, what I've tried to do with these shows, and then obviously TJ joining in, like what we try to do, like, and I've done even pre TJ, I try to look at everything, because there is no way that one source or one platform is right about everything. They're going to be right some of the time, and then others are going to be right others of the time. So I try to listen to everything, Isaiah and On3 and Webb and all of them. And then also we have our group chats and our parents and our players that we talk to, and people inside and outside the program. So it's kind of a mix. And that's really, I feel like, the ideal situation. Exactly. Because then you get the whole picture. So what we try to do here is we try to bring you the best hour and a half we can, just trying to help you sift through all of it.
That's right. And digesting the data and then articulating it the best we possibly can from our ability, which I'm going to be real with you, we're one of the best at that. Ask anyone who's watched us long enough knows, like, we're typically on fucking path, bro. And the other, the thing too is you want, like, and I know many of you follow some of the other sites and some of the other people. They will tell you, I'm still gathering information. I'm still trying to exactly. But if you just go from one source, you don't even get the full picture. And we saw that very publicly and clearly in November, when certain information was brought to the table that was clearly wrong, but because they had one source, one perspective, one avenue, they took a hard L.
Right.
So yeah, diversity of opinions, good. And like, even if, and here's the last thing on this, not to get on a moral high horse. I'm a firm believer that even if you don't like a perspective, it's okay to digest the data, because you never know what you don't know. Never know what you don't know.
It's true. Yeah. And I encourage people to, like, because I'll go on to these, some of y'all have seen me in the YouTubes. I go over and I hang out with the Dennis Fivian show and the web, and when Webb goes live, and you'll see me pop up from here to there, and I'm just hanging out with the community, like, because a lot of the community is also watching those shows, and so I'm encouraging it, because I think it's great that people are taking in this content and inhaling this stuff, like, it's because it is really, it's interesting stuff, and so it's just like, there's always, the truth is in the middle somewhere.
Well, and everybody,
that's what we try to do.
Everyone has different perspectives too, so it's interesting to get the different, logic, a little different logic,
Yeah, the Blueprint's one of my favorites for sure.
Right, another one. That's another interesting, perspective.
But that's a great example, because I feel like even they would agree with this. I feel like I listen to them more for their football X's and O's expertise than I do when they talk about, like, the political dynamics and of what's happening in the administration and some of that stuff. Like, I listen to their because they're some of the best and very extremely knowledgeable at X's and O's, at offense. Obviously, they were both in the Michigan offense and spent time with Brady Hoke and Jim Harbaugh with respect to Butt. Yeah.
Well, let me just say this, and I've actually been kind of banging the drum on this. Just because somebody played the game does not mean they're good at analyzing or articulating what the fuck they're saying. There are tons of former players and coaches who say the dumbest shit. The dumbest shit. We know this. But then you have former players like Jake Butt, Devin Gardner, who are actually really good in offering. Now, listen, I would argue Jake Butt has probably a better track record in terms of accuracy and opinion. Although let's not forget Jake Butt was on board with fucking hiring Biff Poggi. Questionable.
This is exactly my point, TJ. I was kind of referring to that. You gave the example that I was thinking in my head, but yeah.
Right. Former player, smart as hell. Even Buckeyes love Jake Butt. What a crazy fucking opinion on that one. Still love Jake Butt.
Wasn't that DG?
No, I'm pretty sure it was Jake Butt. I'm quite confident it was Jake Butt.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. He did advocate for Poggi. You're right.
And then Juju's like he was the best available option. Fuck that. Never on board. No, then you figure it out. Then you offer someone a grandfather deal. You make an offer someone cannot refuse. You figure it out. You don't settle. Anyways, the point being is just because it's a former player. Like one of my biggest things is like I hate when you get into a debate with someone and say, "Well, you didn't play the game." Shut up. That's a terrible take. It's a case by case basis, my guy. Not every player knows what the fuck they're talking about. Some of these dudes, honestly, don't have the best opinions on things. But then there are ones that are elite. There are some players and some coaches who offer excellent analysis and perspective and depth that we could never fathom because they're just elite at it. Like Nick Saban, I love hearing Nick Saban's. Urban Meyer, love getting his analysis and perspective on things. You know what I mean? But do I want Sharon Moore's? Do we want Sharon? No, I don't. If he wants to talk about offensive line, I mean, I'd be willing to hear it out. But do not fucking tell me how to handle a quarterback room. Definitely don't want your opinion there, sir. It's like just that's my point on that. Not to continue running on it, but it's just not. And then not only that, there are people who were not coaches and players. Josh Pate, I think Josh Pate offers an excellent analysis.
100%.
So it's case by case.
So a question on our best friend Ward Manuel. So Anthony, your buddy, with the 1999 TJ, what are you hearing about Ward? I'm hearing that the word is soon. We need to lock up Dusty immediately. Sharks are swirling. Someone will open checkbook. Ward would be smart to lock him up. TJ, we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah. So, my boy. Yeah. So, all right. Regarding Ward, all I know at this point is there's a belief that he won't survive the investigation. There's belief they won't. Now, I don't know that. I have no idea. I've heard it, don't know it. And I don't know when the investigation ends. I've heard two different things. I actually heard potentially the end of January. We're past that. Then I heard March. So we're a month away? So I don't know. I mean, maybe. To be determined. I'll say this. Ward Manuel has survived every other event. My boy is John Gotti. Teflon down, right? Now, unless they got a RICO on this. Now, unless they got a RICO on my guy Ward here, which is how they got but they might. Maybe this is the one. This is the one that gets them. I don't know. But to be determined, we'll find out. Regarding Dusty, I'm gonna be real. I don't think we have anything to worry about. I think Michigan's willing to do whatever it needs to do to keep Dusty.
Yeah, I think we're okay there.
Yeah,
I really do. I think any offer Michigan would counter and then some. This is one where I think everybody knows you can't let this guy go.
Dusty is one of the top 5, if not top 3, possibly top 2, but not 2 coaches in college basketball right now. Like, it's insane what he's doing. He has talent, he has resources, but he's an excellent coach, which makes it as great as it is. Now, you know what's crazy, John, and not to go too much on the basketball front here.
Sure.
Actually, I do want to say this. Our basketball team, we have fans in this fan base who are not pleased with its performance. We are winning by double digits of points against top 10 teams on the road, boys. This is hard to do, hard to achieve. They're playing very well. They have things to work out. It's not perfect, but the reality is, too, you want to probably start getting hot in about a week or two. We're okay. I think Michigan's doing just fine. And actually, this is going to be a good month for us to get tested. So we'll find out. The boys should be tournament ready, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. The little bit of whispers I've heard is that they are getting close to wrapping up the investigation.
Okay. Do we know when though?
I don't know the exact
do we
date.
think it's February?
Could be
because I have heard March. I heard March like a weeks ago. Like maybe
late February, March is the general idea, but it's coming and it's not going to be good. I mean, let's be very clear. Like,
well,
even I don't think it's going to be good.
If Ward's fired, it's a good fucking day, boys. Like, listen.
No. I mean the results of the investigation. I don't think are going to be good for Ward. That's what I think. I think is going to be a problem.
Like, was the Sharon situation good? Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, it was good for us. So,
yes. Yeah, we stumbled in to a much better situation.
Yeah, we fell up.
Thanks to Sharon dipping into the well.
Yeah.
Going on to the having a little side action.
Bro, he had some free time at halftime. He had some free time at halftime. What do you want from my guy?
Just some free time.
Free time at halftime.
Michigander recommends that Smith Snowden goes in to run the Wildcat. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Believe it. No, thank you. If anyone, Hyder.
That would be fun. That would be a great time.
Celeste Moa, maybe.
It needs to be someone who actually knows how to throw a pass.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. Remember Jabril Peppers, Wildcat?
Who?
And remember Jabril Peppers, the pet cat, and it never worked because he never threw a pass.
Well, but here's the thing about the Wildcat, though. Sometimes it is just run focused.
Yep.
Yep.
But I think if you
I don't want Wildcat. We don't even need it. I have a quarterback who's a dual threat quarterback. I don't need a fucking Wildcat. A Wildcat has some value if you have a pocket passer.
Mm-hmm.
Some value. But I'm not even a big fan of Wildcat.
We got Chaz. Thanks, Chaz, for the 10. And I'm actually going to play some huddle tape to this super chat because Chaz is talking about people are sleeping on this guy, Tariq Boney.
We said the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's watching the show. He seems ready to make an early impact. Maybe not as high a ceiling as Meadows or others, but as a better player coming in now. Vastly underrated.
He just got his 4. He's now a 247 consensus 4-star. He got it. He's now a 4-star. He's now a blue chip player. We've been talking about this all year, that this kid's been slept on.
Mm-hmm.
This is our Josiah Stewart. You guys watch the show, We talked about Under Armour All-American, but yet not getting love. But they did make him a 4-star. He got his love. I'm telling you right now, this kid, I really believe his build, his ability. I don't care. He's 6'1". Josiah Stewart was 6'1".
He gets at that quarterback really effectively.
He will. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm high on him. He's kind of my Chase Taylor this year. Last year, in the 24 class, Chase Taylor was my little. That's terrible. My diamond in the rough, though. He was the one that I felt recruiting services slept on. This year, it was Tariq Boney. I think recruiting they woke up, they realized, but he's legit. I think his film pops, and he just has a very good frame. Even though I know his height isn't there, but for what we need, he could play Sam, come off the edge. Obviously, he wouldn't be a 5 tech, but you can use him in blitz packages. I just think he's gonna be a good player for Michigan.
Yeah, very versatile player. I like Carter Meadows a lot. So it's hard to, when you talk about Carter Meadows, like who's going to pop off.
Opposite of Carter. Yeah. Yeah. And not always either. He could be a situational pass rusher. He might very well just be a situational pass rusher, but he will play. I do think he'll play for Michigan.
And then we also have a recommendation to turn on some huddle about Camden Lopati. So that's the the quarterback out of Salt Lake City, Utah. 4-star.
Will be honest, not as on top of him. He is a 27, so that'd be a major reason. Because we are now on 26, so this is 2 years away. Isn't what is my guy who's on the mission? There's an R in his name. Juju, you know what's my guy's name? The quarterback who's on the mission. Peter Bork. Yeah, we do have Peter Bork. Is Peter Bork at 27 now? It's all coming together now. Let me just figure this out.
So
I think Peter Bork is. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you now, Peter Bork's legit, boys. I told y'all when Peter Bork committed to Michigan, I got some flack. I got some flack because I said he would start over Brady Smeagol. Because Brady Smiegel's a 26.
Ryder Lions.
Ryder Lions. That's what I knew. It was head and R. Yeah. So there is some potential speculation that Ryder Lions may have interest in Michigan. And he'll be at 27. And that could potentially, potentially be something, but we'll see. I mean, I just think that Peter Bork. There's the chat. See, I love this chat. Thank you guys. Like you want to know how we're sickos? All I said to you guys was, who's the quarterback on the mission? And I think I said it's an R name.
Yeah.
And you guys knew exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys knew exactly. So guess what? If I was in public and I went to a crowd of people and I said, who's the quarterback who went on a mission and it's an R name, they'd look at me like I'm fucking dumb. Not here, baby.
Not here.
Not here. That's why I love this.
Got the best community on YouTube. That's why.
Yeah. So Ryder Lions is interesting, but yeah, Peter Bork. My guy says Lopati's better. All right, pull the huddle. Did we have the huddle? I'm sorry. I know you had it up, John. Let's take a look. Do we think he's better? Let's do a live watch. We can do about a minute or two. Are you down? Pull it up. We'll see. If we think Peter Bork's better. If we think he's better, let's do it. That's fun.
Okay, Lopati. I got Lopati. 6'3", 218 pounds.
Now, obviously, he'll be younger. He's a 27, so it's not entirely fair.
Okay, we got like multiple slides. Okay, that's great.
Bro, you got to let the coaches know, man.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Oh, that was sick. That was nice. That was
Love
nice.
that. Love that throw on the run there.
I mean, his feet are always moving. He's not. The only problem is I see in his game initially. I mean, that was nice too. I will say this: the issue I see in his game already is his feet are not set ever so far. Now that was a little better. Damn. All right, boys. I'm liking it a little bit. I like it. He does look nice. His fucking arm is really talented. That, unfortunately, I can't see the ball, but it went right to his guy. Definitely dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, he's a nice player. I'm not going to knock it. I mean, now here's a good problem. Can we name a good problem right now? Peter Bork's fucking nice. Ryder Lions is fucking nice. And this kid is actually his tape is pretty sweet. So, I'll say I'm satisfied with Peter Bork, but I mean, if the Michigan staff decides to make a detour, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it happens, right? I'm not aware. I mean, is there some buzz that I'm unaware of about this kid? Let me know.
Yeah. Well, Nate is excited, and I'm excited.
Well,
I mean,
Nate,
listen.
Thanks for letting us know, though. I mean, that was actually pretty good. I agree with you. That was actually nice tape.
For sure. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to our next chat here. And so we do know that there's not just captains this year.
Good.
There's actually a leadership council.
Good.
So we'll start with the captains. So the captains that were announced, we've got Trey Pierce, we've got Rod Moore, we got Jordan Marshall, and of course, Bryce Underwood. And what does that mean, TJ? It means no more senior-only captains.
Well, and I think, listen, we talked about Jordan Marshall is the epitome of Michigan. Like to me, Jordan Marshall, did you have something else you want to hit on before I go on this, John?
Go ahead.
Jordan Marshall carries the identity of the 23 national championship team. And Rod Moore clearly does. He was a part of it. Okay. So I love that. I love that. And then I think Bryce Underwood should be the captain. This is his year to step up as a leader. This is his year. It's his team. So that's right. And then you needed another defensive player. And I think Trey Pierce is very interesting selection because it means the coaching staff is putting a lot on him. They are thinking very highly of Trey Pierce. They are expecting a lot from Trey Pierce. And getting, putting the C or giving these guys the C captain status. There's a big term being used right now in Michigan. And I'm going to be real with you. We said it first, and I see a lot of other people using it. And it is accountability. We talked about a few weeks ago that the strength and conditioning staff is preaching accountability, not only individually, but your teammates, coaches, everybody, because it unfortunately was lacking with the previous regime. But this year, the boys are on it. And I think Michigan is doing a proactive adjustment to the leadership of the program by not only dedicating, these players, or I'm sorry, not dedicating, but identifying these players as the leaders of this team, but dedicating a group of players to also hold and maintain a standard. That's the other thing too. Your captains, your leaders must maintain an effing standard. And I think Michigan's, again, I think it's a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, I love all of these selections, and I understand that Michigander pointing out this is the spring captains.
True.
But I still love it.
This is true. They will vote on that in the fall. This is true. This is true. But the point being is, but that's the point. They're taking spring serious. Mm-hmm. You understand? These boys here are your tone setters, right? They are going to set the tone for the team. That's their job. Go to the leadership council, can we, John?
Yes, this is something very interesting. So this is a Kyle Whittingham thing. So Kyle Whittingham did this at Utah, and he's doing it at Michigan. And I believe that this is a brilliant move because what if a lot of these people were the ones up in the air, or some of them even went into the transfer portal and then came back? Well, hey, add this to the pitch. You want to be on the, I think you exhibit the characteristics of a leader. Would you like to be on the leadership council? It's a way to just show we think you are one of the leaders of the team. Well, it's a way to show confidence in your team and in specific players. And I love who they selected. And I love that Rod Moore is up the top. He's a captain and he's on the leadership council. Some of these, Andrew Marsh, obviously,
they all are.
Like they're all great. They're all great selections.
All the captains are on the leadership council. But what I think is, it's not even just players who listen. Can we just be honest? Every player was in the fucking portal. They had to re-sign every player in terms and conditions. Every kid's on a 1-year deal, guys. Like teams are trying to do the 2-year thing now. But it's like, for example, a little secret that a lot of people don't know is when an athlete gets a scholarship from a school, it's a 1-year scholarship. It's not a 4-year like a lot of people think it is. It used to be. I don't know how it is now with NIL, but it used to be a 1-year thing. So I think that's one of the contributing factors to the re-signing of every player every year. But the players that you see here, these really are key players. Okay, Zeke Berry, that's one of your starting corners. Cam Brandt is going to be, if not start, who was your choice to start opposite of Daly, right, John? But Cam Brandt's gonna have a significant role. Trey Pierce is gonna be starting. Blake Frazier's starting. Andrew Marsh, we know what he is. Inaueta is gonna be starting. Mm-hmm. Bryce Underwood's going to be starting. Jordan Marshall, we know the deal. Zach Marshall, big year. That one's actually a unique one, but that goes to show you, I'm telling you, Zach Marshall, I'm telling you, he wants it. I think Zach Marshall is actually going to be our starting tight end. Jake Renera, he's a starter. Jair Hill is what, John? The opposite corner starting. Now, I know my guy Nico here, a little bit of an outlier. But then you have Mason Curtis, Andrew Sprague, both starters. Well, Mason Curtis, we'll see. He's actually potentially a 2D player. But the point being, all these players have a role, and it holds. And what does it do, John? Not incentivizes. It. That's what I'm looking for. It only emphasizes, not incentivizes, emphasizes the accountability, because you play it, your teammates are going to hold you to the standard. That is what is being implemented in this program. We need a culture shift, because unfortunately the last regime burned the last culture a little bit. It wasn't completely destroyed. We know it wasn't, but it definitely wasn't what it was. So now it's a new era, boys, and accountability is on the menu.
Yeah. I love this way to encourage more of a player-led culture, right? Like, this is clearly a way to empower these players to be like set the culture, set the standard. Like, obviously it comes from, like, Whittingham is a major part of, let's have a tough program, right? Like, it's a very physical oriented coach. We're going to talk about strength and conditioning and some of what we've been seeing in the reps that we'll show you some of what the team is working on right now. But it just shows you that it's a different approach, because Sharon had captains, but he didn't do a leadership. Like, this is a next level to show what accountability looks like, to show what leadership, to just encourage people to take that next role.
Because I'll tell you, this is one of the reasons why I went into business in college, because when you have a group of people working towards an objective or a goal, you need leadership. Now, many of us in corporate will tell you leadership isn't always the best, but because there's not true leaders in positions there should be. Anyways, but the point being is, in theory, I thought it was like a team dynamic. Like, business is supposed to be often a team dynamic. Sometimes it's not. But the point is, our boys here, they got goals, they got objectives. They need you need a leadership. You need a hierarchy of authority. Okay, that's psychological. A hierarchy of authority. This allows for a hierarchy of authority. You have your coaches, you have your captains, you have your council, and then you have the team. Thus creates your hierarchy of authority, thus creates your accountability.
Yeah, I love it. I'm in anything like this. Sign me up. Yeah, I think this is how you, not just in football, but in organizations, this is how you do it. This is how you empower people. Right. So there we go with that. Just want to remind everybody that starting at just $2.99, you too can be a YouTube member. So Detroit Wolverine became Connor Stallion's Espionage member. You too can be a member. Get the emojis, shout outs, badges. And now we have a new thing at the end of the shows. It's just a quick little 15-second thing, but it's a thank you to every single member at each tier. So we do that at the very end of our shows and our videos too. So check that out, and we'll be rolling that tonight as well. So with that, we've got Michigan players putting in work. So I just love what I'm seeing from Doug Elisaya, the big man, like, coaching these guys up. People are throwing up. And they are clocked in at the locked in factory, right? And I love it, because it goes contrary to some of the reports of what we saw under Sharon, right? This is what we need to see. We need to see players giving it their all, consistent effort. Yep. And I love it. So I don't know if anything in particular you've heard from behind the scenes of, like, what's going on, but I just think I love what I see.
Yes, I have. I have actually heard a little behind the scenes, and I'll tell you this, man. I'm actually looking for a graphic right now. John, can you find the graphic? Actually, I'm going to find it right now. I know where it is. Right here. So I'll tell you this: the players, whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll pull it up. But the players are really liking the new staff. And there is an expectation and a standard with this new staff that they're holding the players to. Word is, maybe things weren't as strict with the previous, and things may have not, and things may have not been as optimal, or at least the players didn't think so in terms of the effectiveness of some of the training. But now, of course, listen, they're in their first phase of off-season conditioning, so it's early, and obviously, with time will come more clarity. But early returns are good. They're excited. There appears to be energy. There appears to be, again, and I was told this specifically, which is what I told you guys a few weeks ago. They are preaching accountability, and just and the other thing too that I was told is accountability to yourself. Like, when you don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. to get to your 6 a.m. workout, not hitting this, that type of stuff. So that's what I was told. Like, so the parents, so I've been told this parent perspective here. They're very pleased by the early returns, at least things they're hearing and things that the players are telling them and stuff. But yeah, so I think we have a good start here. I think things are encouraging. Again, still early. We will find out. We'll learn more, obviously, when we get into the later parts of the conditioning, especially when we get into the summer. And actually, I'll tell you this right now, the biggest thing that we will look for without hearing anyone's perspective is when they give the weights. Gainers, losers, fallers, risers. To me, that's always a big indicator of the true results that the players are putting in. Like when some of these kids gain serious weight, which is, I'm gonna be real with you, like as someone who is into fitness, some of these weight gains are actually like they kind of blow my mind sometimes. But regardless, and maybe some of it's a little exaggerated. I think there is a little exaggeration in some of these, but regardless, end of the day, I think Michigan's on the right path and early returns are good, John.
Yeah. Love to see that. And we're going to see the result of some of those gains and some of what's going on. So spring practice is going to begin Tuesday, March 17th. So you're going to have 15 practice sessions, which will conclude with the spring game. Saturday, April 18th will be the annual spring game presented by Original Roofing Company. Let's go. There was a little bit up in the air. Like, does he have a spring game, or does he have just a scrimmage? Does he have, like, what is it going to look like? Or is it just going to be like what Harbaugh did a couple, like back in 18-19, when sometimes he would just have part of a game and then go to just practice. This sounds like it's going to be a game, or at the very least, an event that everybody will be able to go to and check it out.
Do we know yet how, like, has it been mentioned? Have you heard on your end or seen anything about teams, how they're going to select those, or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
We might know more next week.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Especially when spring practice, we'll see. But yeah, dude. So very excited. We anticipated to be the third week of April. It's been that way for a while. It's when Whittingham did his at Utah. I'm excited, man. And not only are we excited, John, unfortunately, good news and not so good news, but good news, like last year, we are going to the spring game. And when I mean I mean myself, I mean Johnny Olden, I mean Maniac, and I mean Maze Madman. We will be at the spring game again. John has work requirements.
Yeah.
That's okay. But me and John, like we mentioned, maybe we'll try and do a game together during the season, which would be really
fun. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. So we'll look into that. But yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, so spring game, boys. So we did it last year. We're letting everybody know this year we'll be there. So looking forward to, again, like last year, meeting you guys. And we already have the Airbnb booked, so we're already good to go. And we will do the exact same thing we did last year. Whereas if we go to a certain spot, we'll post it on Twitter. Y'all can meet us, follow us, whatever. And then during the game day, we'll find a tailgate. Probably we did it with Hailgate last year. I will probably do something similar. And then we'll watch the game together, man, and have a good ass time. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. So last year was a great time. And I'm bummed I have to miss it. Unfortunately, it's conference is literally like right there. And last time I had a little bit of a grace period, so I could do both.
Yeah,
because last year I double dipped and I did
both.
I did the spring conference and I went to the spring game, which was insane. And I felt
like the same week, right?
I felt like death for like a week. So it was fun though during the spring game though. Y'all are gonna have a blast.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know if we're going to the Chop House this year. Might have to try another spot.
Might have to switch it up from this one.
Well, I'll say this. Hopefully we don't run any coaches. So far we're 0 for 1. We're 0 for 1 on the coach hangouts. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, we're definitely gonna go somewhere sweet the first night. I mean, that's our new tradition. Maybe we'll go to Chop House again, maybe not. We'll figure it out. But end of the day, it's gonna be I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you're on the fence going to spring game, I assure you, whether you go Saturday or you're there for the whole weekend, it'll be a good ass time. I can promise you this. We had a good ass time. And there's a lot of hype, a lot of fun. I mean, Ann Arbor's a great place. So how do you lose? You don't lose. It's a win-win-win-win.
It's a win-win. I mean, how can you
argue? It's a win-win-win-win-win.
Win-win-win. There it is.
There's no L's in the spring game weekend. Unless, all right, the only way there's an L is weather.
We don't do L's at Michigan. We do W's. We do W's at Michigan.
Leaders and best.
There you go. Yeah, so check it out. The Avengers are going to be doing some stuff and more to come, but obviously very exciting. And every week here at the channel through the entire off season. Now, there may be a week that we take off of one of the shows, but we are going to try to stick to as consistent as we can, 2 shows a week. Today, 8 p.m. Eastern is the Michigan Wolverines live show. We do the topics for the week, and then you get to give your take on Thursday nights with TJ and Johnny. I filled in last week, and we had a great time, Johnny and I, and then Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be back.
That's right.
Call-in show. Okay.
That's right. Yes, I will be. Yes, as it stands today, I will be doing the show Thursday 8 p.m. I'll be work responsibilities. So like John, the daily gets in. I don't want to say gets in the way, but responsibilities happen.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So Thursday 8 p.m. we're gonna do the damn thing. Me, Johnny, Olden in the house. Looking forward to it, man. Yeah, and then just talking ball. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait to hear how it goes. So definitely get your plans together because the Avengers are going to be there.
Yeah, and I think we need to do an Avengers show at some point in February. It's been so long. I think it's time to get the round table back together, and maybe we make it members only. Maybe we make it for everybody. I don't know, but it's time to it's off season. We should probably get together and just shoot some shit.
All right. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. We have a super chat from our mod. So thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Mod and a member. Who do you think is QB2, Fowler or Hurley? I'm thinking Fowler.
Yeah, my vote is Fowler. I think Hurley is.
Yeah.
I would put Hurley in the same category as a Jalen Pyle. We're gonna plant him in some good pH soil, some really good water, some really good pH balanced water, optimal sunlight, and he's gonna grow and develop. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. They're gonna grow and develop under this coaching staff. So that's the play for Hurley.
Boom. All right. Well, there it is. So we're in agreement there, and I like Hurley. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a depth player.
He's intriguing. Right, I think it was a good sneaky ad, man. I mean, why not?
100%. We needed. I mean, all the quarterbacks. It was down to what? Bryce Underwood and Chase Herbstreit. And I mean, maybe like there wasn't a lot of, some people were out of eligibility, some people were, but so Whittingham needed to replace a lot of depth.
Remember when Mikey Keene was brought in?
I do.
And he was injured the entire effing year.
Yeah, didn't play a single snap. Crazy.
Sad times.
we'll see. I think this time it's going to be like, do I think that either of these players are going to truly push Bryce to like for the starting job? No. But do I think that there's going to be a lot more encouragement by way of just quarterbacks being at spring doing stuff? Because last year it was literally just Bryce Underwood and Jaden Davis.
I'll say this: spring game should be a little more enjoyable. You got some dudes who can, at least throw the ball pretty good. I mean, Hurley is a step up from Jaden Davis. Clearly, the kid still needs to develop, but he's got a high ceiling as well. Yeah, man. I mean, all right. Let me just, I guess I'll close on this. Every single position group at Michigan is actually in really good health, both. And I told you the way I look at it is present and future. There's except 3 rooms for me, which is tight end, and we'll do defensive line. We'll group tackles and edges and linebacker. Those 3 rooms are the ones of question, but again, not devoid of talent. So it's, future outlook looks good for both of those. For 2 of the 3 tight end, we got to add some shit. A tight end, in my opinion, needs some talent infusion.
There it is. Well, I think tight end is aside from linebacker is the other position that I just feels like a little left to be desired, right? Yep. Maybe one more pickup.
She doesn't
the tight
approve.
end side.
Yeah, she doesn't approve of the tight end room. She knows.
Yeah.
Miss Olish knows.
Yeah. I will say I think Hogan Hansen and Zach Marshall, I believe in the staff to get one of them to be like the tight end, the starting tight end for the pass game.
I listen. I don't think it's like I think they are. Damn, what's what I'm looking for. I think they are. I think they'll be contributing. I don't think it's like a. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Like, it's not a true weak point. It's not it's not like all right. It's not a liability.
Yeah,
but it's an average room. I don't. Yeah. I need elite rooms. I need above average.
Andrew Olesh would have been great. Right. Let's be real.
Elite.
Just one extra to bring it all together. But you've got, I think, 2 legit passing, or at least decent passing tight ends, and then I think 1 decent blocking tight end in Jalen Hall.
And look, is it possible someone shines and develops beyond my expectations? Absolutely. But serviceable is the correct room. I think the tight end room serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
So
there we go. So folks, definitely check us out on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for the call-in show where you give your take on what we just talked about or whatever other breaking news might be happening. We also might release a video, right? Depending on what. So I did a video on the new assistant special teams coach, and that was well received. People seem to like it. So as there's more news, we like either of us or both of us may cut an 8-minute 10-minute video here and there to talk about.
I mean, if there's anything breaking, I mean, and clearly if Ward Manuel gets fired, we're going to be here all day. But yeah, I mean, as the content comes, I will say this: I really wanted to do a video when the schedule was announced.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I was not home, but I feel like we missed an opportunity there. So, we'll do our best. We'll keep you guys updated as best we can.
So we do have, so Thursday night, that was the main topic. So Thursday night we could clip that because
did you guys do record predictions?
Yes.
Ooh, what'd you do? What was your record?
10-2.
Okay. What'd Johnny do?
Sound like Johnny agreed. Okay. So
all right, we're in agreement. I'm in 10-2. Speaking of shit, can I find this? Am I gonna find this? All right, let's just hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Did you see that they put out a way too early projection for the college football playoff?
What? Already?
Yeah, I know. Was it? I think Garrison. For those who love Garrison, he's like, it's February 3rd.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find this. I think CBS Sports did it.
Okay.
Well, spoiler alert, Michigan's in it. You know what? I'll just go to Garrison's page and look at his responses. Although the problem is the guy argues with everybody. Could take me a decade. Yeah, but I mean, point being is, the point being is that there is. Oh, found it. Actually, you know what? Shout out to Garrison. He wasn't very busy today. Here we go. So this is the way too early 2026 college football prediction. Michigan is in. I did read in the comments, and hey, our boy Michigander, there's Garrison. He goes, it doesn't even make sense. It's potentially possible that there's some logical error in this. That wouldn't surprise me. But that said, here's what you have. This would be fun. Would we not agree this would be a good time? And then
Michigan, we got Texas Tech. Oh yeah,
dude, that'd be sweet. That'd be fun. And then you get old Signetti the next round. I mean, I would love this, boys. We would have a blast. What a grouping too. Like this would be a fun one. Notre Dame, Texas, Miami, Indiana, Oregon, A&M, Georgia, Memphis. I mean, that's cute, you know. Ohio State, those losers. Then LSU. Let's go, man. That's fun. I'd like it. But yeah, I'm also 10-2, and I also think we are a playoff team.
Yeah, so if you missed, Thursday night, we for those who may have missed it, Johnny and I went through the whole schedule, and then after we went through it and did predictions, then we took calls, and a bunch of the callers, we went through it with them as well. So it was really good.
Has anyone seen West Quad?
Oh, good question.
Bro,
yeah, I haven't.
My guy's been MIA. West Quad has been, I'm at to figure it out.
Yeah. West Quad, Best Quad, where are you? Come on back in.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I brought it up because last year he had a very interesting prediction, but it's all right. I'm curious what he thinks this year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks. Well, that does it for Michigan Wolverines Live, presented by FanDuel. Definitely thank you to everybody who hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Anybody who contributed, anybody who became a member or is a member, who watched
the show. You rocked with us tonight. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you. New Life, Michigan, like all these members who are here rocking with us, everybody in the scroller down here, all of y'all. You guys make the show. This is February, and we had like 500 plus, like it within all between this and you and X, which is crazy. Like y'all did that. So thank you. And follow us on X at TJ_Ronin, at John Diadamo. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Just say no to sponsorships on jerseys. just say no.
There you go.
And fuck Ohio.
Fuck Ohio. Go blue. We'll see you next time. Go blue. Here's a thank you to our members coming up here.